Welcome to Horror and Coffee. Going to talk about The Lodge. Let's check it out. How you all doing? Ralph Perez here for Horror and Coffee. If you love coffee and if you love horror, please click on the subscribe button and also click on that bell button for future notifications for future Horror and Coffee content. One of the movies that came out this year in 2020 is a movie called The Lodge. I just saw it just last night. The Lodge was brought to you by the same people who brought you Goodnight Mommy. It's a movie I didn't review at this point. I did see it, but I just didn't get around to reviewing it, if I have to be honest about it. But when I did see The Lodge, it reminded me a lot about Goodnight Mommy. It seemed like it had the same kind of idea, the same kind of premise. Without spoiling anything, let me give you a basic rundown of the film. It's essentially, it's a very tragic film, actually. It's about a man who I consider to be quite a scumbag, actually. He leaves his wife for this other woman. And based on what I heard, it was kind of one of his former patients. I think, a psychologist or something. And he has a daughter and he has a son. And the mother, he tells the mother he's going to marry this new woman. Obviously, they're going through a divorce. And the mother doesn't take that too well, so to speak. So what I'm going to say is basically they go off together. He wants the kids to kind of get used to his new lady, so to speak. But this new lady comes with a past, a very disturbing past. And the kids are up to that. They know what's going on with this woman. When they're away, they go away to this little lodge, like a home, a winter home somewhere to spend Christmas time and that time period. But then all of a sudden something comes up and dad has to leave for a couple of days, right? Leaving her along with these two kids. And you're wondering, oh man, these poor two kids, they don't like this woman. They love their natural mother. They wish she was back with dad, It's very, it's heartbreaking and you empathize with them. But the problem is that when this movie delivers the final punch, it doesn't deliver it well. It's hard for me to explain it without giving stuff away. I want you guys to really watch it. I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it wasn't a good movie, in my opinion. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. Like, it's something you can definitely watch through and kind of draw your own conclusion about. You kind of start wondering, at what point does reality become like just something that plays in the mind? It's very psychological, I guess, in that way, and I think I give credit only in that realm. But then how it finally executes itself out to the end of the film, you kind of make yourself wonder, what was that? I don't understand. I didn't get it. Maybe I'm too dumb to get it. I don't know. I just know that it was a dark film. It even reminded me in many ways of Hereditary. Different filmmakers, but it almost has the same kind of backdrop and the same kind of how can I say, visual feel, if that makes sense to you. In fact, there's a couple of things that I saw in Hereditary that are very much present as well in The Lodge. When you see The Lodge, and if you saw Hereditary, you'll know what I mean. You'll be like, oh, that's almost like Hereditary. And visually speaking, it works for the plot of the movie. You start wondering at some point whether or not there is a supernatural element in this film. At least I really thought this. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was actually something more mental, something more psychological, something mind-bending. I know I'm giving this movie more credit than I actually really planned on deserving to give it credit to, because, again, had it ended better, had it ended with a more tight ending, even though at the end of the movie you kind of know what eventually happens, it kind of leaves you hanging a little bit, but not too much. It's kind of like you kind of know, right? Like you just do. It's a good movie to watch. I would definitely recommend it. I personally would not buy it to put in my collection. Actually, I did buy it. Now that I think about it, I didn't buy the disc. I bought a digital copy online, and now it's stuck in my library. But I don't know if I'll ever want to actually see it again. Now that I think about it, maybe I should have just rented it. I'm gonna give The Lodge only 2 coffee cups, not because it's necessarily a bad movie, but the ending kind of like threw me off a little bit. The way it kind of carried itself. Another thing, I also kind of felt that the 2 kids were very they acted great. First of all, those 2 kids, they were awesome, but I felt like there needed to be some more. There had to be more spine there regarding their relation to this new lady. Her name is Grace. That's the name of the young woman that Dad left Mom for. I didn't like Dad at all. I thought Dad was a jerk for having left Mom and the kids for this new main squeeze and whatnot. And I felt like his sensitivity in throughout the whole movie regarding how his kids felt about the situation was left a lot to be desired. Like he was just a jerk. I was like, dag, dude, really? How do you do that to your kids? You leave your wife, you run off with this girl, and then you expect your kids to be kind of okay with that. It almost seemed like he expected them to be okay with that. That's the feeling it gave me, and I did not like that. I thought that sucked. Very sucky dad. Naughty daddy. Anyway, that's my review of The Lodge. Let me know what you think. Comment below. Talk to me. Share with me your thoughts on what The Lodge might have been for you. As one of the movies of 2020. It came out this year. So, it received a lot of acclaim. But, at the same time, it didn't really hit me that hard. Or maybe it did. Maybe I'm a mystery unto myself. Until next time, horror and coffee. Ralph Perez. Take care. Stay safe. I'm out.